Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to episode number 6 of Into the Nexus, the podcast about Heroes of the Storm. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I am joined, as always, by Willie Dills Gregory and Kyle Ferguson. If you're watching via video, Kyle's camera's busted tonight, so just enjoy this pixely avatar of him as a Protoss.
Yeah, you just have to listen to the sultry sounds of his voice instead.
Yeah, even though he plays Zerg, but nonetheless.
It's such a crime to deprive the audience of my face. I apologize.
The always humble Kyle Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we keep him around,
For his humbleness.
Humble, yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's a Hawks game tonight and everyone's fantasy hockeying online.
That could be it. Is that a thing? Fantasy hockeying?
I have no idea.
Like, how many goals are they going to score?
I
think, okay.
How many fights will there be?
Fans are probably going to get mad at me right now. But hockey seems totally like it's just a puck getting slapped around and it randomly goes in the net sometimes. All right. Incoming emails of hatred.
Send them the Dills email. Don't send it to the shows.
You just tweet at me.
Because I like hockey, everyone. I think it's entertaining.
I like it too, but I just sometimes when I'm watching, I'm just like, that could have gone in, but it didn't this time. All right.
Well,
I feel like esports has ruined all my arguments against sports, because now I understand being in a crowd, getting hyped, yelling.
Right.
And even now Dota has like fantasy Dota ball in the background, so I have no excuses.
No. Actually, I mean, sports fans are basically just nerding out over big, strong men doing something athletic. That's really what it is. We nerd out over like little
pixels.
Little pixelated characters doing stuff we can't do.
More or less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some praise yards, others praise APM.
That's true. Exactly.
There you go. Well, guys, there's just nothing to talk about tonight. We were looking, trying to make notes, and there's just been nothing in the news whatsoever.
No news.
This will be the shortest episode ever.
Let's just go right into emails.
Let's do it. Let's just take some emails. You can send them to itncast@gmail.com. No.
I was going to stop you if you didn't, because I played a game all this weekend, but apparently not this game. I played a lot of an older game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got a new game, everyone. We're on episode 6 of a show that covers Heroes of the Storm, and we're now covering a completely different game. It's still called Heroes of the Storm, but this isn't your grandfather's Heroes of the Storm.
No.
Yeah, there's a huge tech alpha patch that literally, as of 20 minutes ago, before recording this show, finally went live after about 4 hours of delays today. It's up.
So I have not had a chance to play.
And they got on stream yesterday, like doing their whole, we're Blizzard, please forgive us. We don't know when this is going to happen, but we have some idea of some changes coming. Whoops, it's here.
To give you an idea, yesterday we wrote our notes, and I sat there for like a good hour going like minute by minute through the VOD of the Q&A, writing my own notes. And then today, the patch hits, and we get the official patch notes, and I'm like, well, that was all worthless.
Yeah, because now it's all detailed in bullet points.
Yeah, and it's not wishy-washy. It's exactly what's happening. So without further ado, let's get into what's going on. I guess first off, some of the stuff from the Q&A about the future of the game that isn't in the patch notes that we're going to talk about. I believe, I don't even know if some of the stuff is in the game yet. For example, they said that they're going to be showing individual kills and individual kill streaks, quote unquote, better in the near future. And that they're going to be implementing a personal kill streak meter, which levels up as you get personal kill streaks, as well as a bounty system. They said, for example, and this is a quote, someone gets 3 kills on someone, a bounty goes out on their head, and the rest of the team has to hunt that person down. I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of experience bonus for killing this person over the rest of the team.
That'll be interesting.
Right.
That'll definitely affect gameplay in a big way.
Yeah.
But they actually, for this patch, I believe they took out the solo kills completely.
They did. It's gone, which before it wasn't even working, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right, and to question that end of game score screen is just kind of ridiculous at this point. I'm expecting graphs and everything we've had in StarCraft for a long time. I mean, you are going to be bombarded with information when a game is over, eventually.
Yeah.
But this bounty system, it makes me a little nervous. Clearly, this is their answer to, I am amazing. I want to be special when I am being amazing, even though it doesn't affect the team. And this is cool. Like, if we didn't have the best matchup system, you get in there, one guy is just hauling ass, destroying everyone, gets a whole bunch of kills on him, and hey, he becomes worth more. And if you destroy him, the team's going to benefit and kind of stop that snowball from happening from a particular person.
Mm-hmm.
This makes me nervous in kind of a higher scale point of view, because then you're dealing with, well, how many kills? If it's 3 kills, you're going, whoa, no, wait, Illidan, you don't kill that guy because you're going to go to 3 kills. Let me kill him.
Well, this
And
system
now-
exists in League of Legends,
Yeah.
so it's not new.
No.
So it's
Right, but you're dealing with that sort of mindset, which is something
Yeah.
that I feel like we've been trying to avoid here, saying that you shouldn't kill someone because you're going to get the bounty on your head. Let me squeeze in and get that kill.
No, it's true. It goes against a little bit of the original philosophy, but I don't think that it's going to matter. I don't think in the end it's going to change that enough to make this a negative more than I think it'll still be a positive.
Yeah,
more
I don't
than a negative.
think the amount of I don't think they're obviously going to balance it. They're not going to put in this bounty system. You kill the guy with the bounty on their head, and all of a sudden your team's 3 levels ahead. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a slight increase in XP.
Yeah, but it'll be something that you'll shoot for. Like, let's say you're in a team fight, and you can maybe only get one guy. It's going to be like, hey, get that guy. That we'll get the bounty.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean that will happen. And then the guy who gets the bounty is going to be like, yeah, that's right, come get me. So that'll be fun for him.
Right.
And I don't know. I think this is kind of cool, but I need to, I don't play enough League to have a lot of experience with how this really affects the game. But I'll need to play with this a little bit before I have a real solid take on it.
Right, and even in League and in Dota, you're going to have that guy who is amazing be just a higher level in general and worth more. So if League has an additional bounty system on top of that, I just feel like by saying that so-and-so is on a killing spree, everyone on their team automatically kind of goes, well, screw that guy, let's get him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I got my first Hero of the Storm announcement this past week.
Ooh,
I
congratulations.
was very excited. Been playing a lot of Kerrigan this week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we were doing we actually did pretty well with me on Stitches and you on Kerrigan the other day.
Yeah.
In our one game.
Or one game, yeah. That was
Yesterday.
last night. Every game after that was terrible.
Oh really?
Yeah, we lost every game last night after you left.
I swear, I'm like a 95% win rate with Stitches, man. It's crazy.
Wait, was that after I left then? Because we were doing well
Yeah.
before then.
Yep.
Man, you were on a marathon last night.
I think I played 3 games after both of you left.
Because you and I played, what was that, Tuesday night? And we had the biggest giggle fit ever.
Yeah.
You were mid as Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Someone would try to come get you. Eventually, they'd run away, and I'd just boost into Zillid and destroy them.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
vice versa. It was beautiful.
Yeah, guys, you haven't seen me as happy as I was with Kyle backing me up while I was playing Kerrigan. He was Illidan. It was ridiculous. It was just absurd.
Although now, Illidan completely different, so
Yes.
he made me to switch.
He still looks like he's
He's still like a pretty
same basic
mobile kind of
concept.
assassin.
He's still a mobile shit brick house.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't think
I'm really into Stitches though right now. I think that's the new hotness.
good because we don't have a pocket Stitches. We need a pocket Stitches.
Well, there you go. Now you got one.
All right, good.
Congratulations. Pocket Nova is now gone though. Oh.
Not around anyone here, because I didn't want to infuriate anyone. But I have been going back to Abathur this week, and I've been really enjoying that.
Glad I wasn't there for any of it.
Wow.
I've been
You know
doing
that
basically my
Abathur-
solo queue.
That's fine.
Abathur basically got nerfed, right? All the changes were like nerf you early and then buff you later kind of thing,
I
right?
think you have that backwards.
Oh, really?
Because his early game is terrible, so they buffed his early game.
No, they
No,
okay,
it's
I'm
the-
looking at that. It's the way I said it.
They said in the Q&A that Spike and the Shield were getting buffed early game. Did that not end up actually happening?
No,
They
check out the
nerfed
notes,
it early
man.
game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's even more god awful in the early
So
game.
at the beginning, your symbiote base damage reduced from 50 to 40, spike burst reduced from 32 to 28, Carapace base shield amount reduced from 160 to 140. So his shield is OP at the beginning when he latches onto somebody,
Okay.
but doesn't scale correctly. So that's basically what they did.
Weird.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. In the beginning of the game, it doesn't matter as much where you are, or if you are all in one lane, that's extremely powerful. So Abathur, able to be anywhere, it was really powerful early on. He needs that
Yeah.
help late game, which I'm glad they gave to him. But what I did this past week that I really enjoyed was I just focused on Symbiote. Before I was doing like the spawn some Locust, buff the Locust, like trying to do this push build. And
Oh, yeah.
you don't even spawn Locust when you are turning into someone else. So if you put all your points into that, like after level 20, like 50% of the game, all your talents are doing nothing.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
by putting everything straight into symbiote, I was just helping out everyone, getting great shots off, increasing the range on that thing. And then, of course, just no matter, even if it wasn't like for an objective, if there wasn't a good reason to steal someone's body or, make a copy of them, I'd just do it whenever the cooldown was ready. And that was really helpful for the team.
Well, I'm willing to give you another shot, sir, because I
Thank
think
you.
that playing with you on Abathur was quite fun.
That makes one of us.
I think so, but
They
hey,
also confirm clan support, which is a total no shit. Hope it
I'm looking
comes.
forward to this.
Hope
man.
it doesn't take them as long as it took them to implement it in StarCraft.
these are one of those questions that I'm just like facepalming in lecture in college. Like, do you really have to ask that question? Like, is this multiplayer game gonna let me play with my friends? It's like, oh my, why do you call this attention to yourself, Twitter person?
I think the better question would have been: are we going to get clan support within the first 3 years of the game being launched? Because
See, that's a little poignant.
yeah,
Sure.
because they implemented that so far after the fact in StarCraft, it seemed kind of pointless. So that was interesting. So getting into the patch, which is the facts, the scripture, as it were, it is out. Murky has been added to the game. Still no Zagara, which is not making me
That was
happy.
the one everyone was really excited about.
Well, it was the one we were excited. I think everyone else is excited about Murky, but
You think so? Okay.
yeah,
I'm just not excited about Murlocs in general.
Well,
so.
right, but everyone else who WoW fans and whatnot, they lose their mind over Murlocs, and I like Murlocs, but I'm not excited for Murky. I don't know, it's not for me. Spreading creep and burrowing anywhere that on the map I want is totally for me. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that seems pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Right, like specking my Nidus worm so it's spawning things that are pushing the lanes. Like, that's the whole reason I kind of had this epiphany about Abathur this week, was because I'm like, oh, I can take this enjoyment with Abathur here, kind of the global support. And then when I get Zagara, I can enjoy that push power there.
Yeah.
But hey, not yet. And Murky.
Instead, Murky.
Yep. I definitely want to give him a shot. I haven't played him yet, so I can't speak from experience of it. Just as far as flavor wise, it's not something where I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a Murloc with a diaper. Can't wait to get in here.
He's actually some of his powers are interesting. It's just a Murloc thing for me.
Yep.
But I like that you could kind of solo. You could kind of, like they said, you can backdoor a little bit with this guy because he has extra damage to buildings and stuff. So that'll be interesting. Have Murky just be off on his own, dying all the time, but come back real quick and pushing a lane again.
Yep. I from a concept level, as far as how he was designed, I think it's brilliant. I love in the interview with Dustin Browder, he's just like, well, his Murloc, you can't really make him awesome, so you need to make him annoying and make him die. Like, that's awesome. It's so cool that they can do that. Anyways, getting into some of the general changes with Heroes of the Storm. The team level cap has been increased by from 25, which was the old cap, to 30 now. So we've got 5 more levels we can go up.
But no new talents after 20, though, still, right? That's still like the final talent?
I don't know.
No,
they
that's
didn't
correct.
mention anything. Yeah, so they didn't mention anything about like a 25 level talent. So
But we've
It's
never
kinda
had
weird.
anything after 20 anyway.
no, yeah, but now it's like that's a lot of levels to continue going up without anything new for a while. But
Yeah. Still a work in progress. I mean, they
Sure.
even said one of the questions during the Q&A was how many talents per level are you guys happy with? Is 5 like the magic number, or could you go up to like 7 or something? And they said they like where it is now between 4 and 5, but they said there's no reason to write it out. That there's not a possibility. So they're definitely still playing around with talents. If this patch shows anything, it's that they're willing to really just throw out everything and the kitchen sink and just try
so
something
this
new.
game's going to be completely different by the time it actually comes out, too.
Right.
Like right now.
Yeah.
We've completely flipped the script at this moment, but this is not the last time that's going to happen.
Yeah. Mount speed used to go up every level. Now it's been increased from 20 to 40% increased movement speed, and it's just locked at that. It no longer goes up per level. So
Never really felt like it was going up, honestly.
You guys
it
are
just kind
gonna
of built the same.
you guys are gonna be outrunning me even worse on my Brightwing now in the early game when we're taking lanes.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
fun.
because you don't
That's
have
interesting.
mount period. That's going to be interesting for the there's several heroes that don't have mounts. So
Yeah, a lot of them have ways to get around faster though. Like,
yeah, they have some other alternative way to travel. But
yeah, I can phase shift or the shield actually grants me movement speed increase. So
yeah.
On Witch Doctor, I take the ghost, his spirit that goes out and just decimates an area. But your level 20 augment of that doesn't increase the damage. It only increases the area it can move in and the movement speed of it. And if you drop it in a good place, it doesn't really matter if it goes real far or not. You basically get your use out of it because the duration of the spell isn't increasing. So I've actually been picking that final talent where it increases your movement speed on horseback instead. So, hey, maybe I'll get to skip that and pick something else.
Yeah, there you go. You get something else now.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, what about mount speed made him think about this? And then at the end, you're like, oh, damn, he brought it around.
Took you on a journey.
You did. There is now... What is this? I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Why is that in there?
I think it's missing.
I'm ignoring that.
I'll help you out with this. So most assassins in the past had a damage speed increase as they leveled up. That is now gone.
Okay, so now it's just
they all pretty much all moved to 0.6.
Gotcha.
Like from beginning to end.
We're talking about attack speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one I'm really excited about, probably not exciting considering all of the insane changes that have happened, but I'm really stoked about this, is there are now rings around your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're different color
different
for you
colors.
and your team.
I believe your buddies are green, the enemies are red, and yours is a bright-ass yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
This was needed.
I squeezed in one game before the show tonight, and it's... Oh, my God, I love it. The rejoin game feature is now live. They said keep in mind this is a very early version of this. It'll become more full-featured as we go on. But at the very least, now if you get disconnected, you have a possibility of getting back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still, again, I'm going to have to see this one. And I'm sure it'll get good by the time this game is out. So, but if it's anything more than just, someone disconnected, we should all just leave, then that's an improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how it was before.
And coming hand in hand with that is actually a new system for inactive player removal. And there's a bunch of rules that go along with how this functions. Basically, if you're being an AFK jerk for over 150 seconds, you're going to get a warning. If you don't do something within 30 seconds of getting that warning, you get kicked out and the AI takes over. You will still have a chance to rejoin the game, though. So if it's an honest AFK where you're just like, oh crap, someone's at the door, I gotta run, and you come back, you've been kicked out, you can go back into the game, and I don't believe you'll be penalized in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
but, right. And 150 seconds is longer than
that's a long time, man.
But it's longer than any death counter you're ever gonna have. So if you do what I do, and you're like, oh, I need orange juice, and like you're dead, so 60 seconds, run to the fridge.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
But see, I feel like this could be shortened. Like 150 seconds that's 2.5 minutes. So it's like could probably knock this down to 2 minutes flat or something like that. Because if someone's not moving for 2 minutes, like they're definitely AFK'd. And if you can get back in, I would rather have the AI take over a little faster and then just give you the chance to get back in when you get back. Like if I had to run to the door, I wouldn't want to be penalizing my team. I'd rather an AI just kind of take over right then and there. So I don't know. This seems a little long to me, but again, I'll have to see it in action.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I would hope everyone would either make it back from the fridge in time or just not go. Yeah. So maybe if they worked in some sort of when you spawn from being dead, you have 30 seconds to move. Otherwise, the computer takes over.
Yeah.
To work into this a bit too, they upgraded the AI a little bit. And this is just involving certain alts that the AI wasn't walking itself out of and a little more recognition of higher level enemies. So hopefully if people do leave and do get kicked, that AI will be a bit better.
Yeah. I think it's still better than just having a guy just sitting there not moving for 2.5 minutes and then another 30 seconds on top of that. So it's like 3 minutes where you've got somebody basically out of the game. And in these games, if this was like Dota or League, that would be a smaller percentage of the entire game. But these games are only like 15 to 20 minutes, So 3 minutes is actually, it's like a fifth of the entire game. It's kind of a lot.
And for the most part, in those other games, you sell off their stuff, you make some money off them. They're now not taking XP from everyone. And also, if you're on a good team, you can basically say, who's the best here? You are now controlling the person who left. In this game, you only ever control your hero. Even when Kerrigan summons an Ultralisk, she cannot control what it's doing.
Sure. Yeah. So I don't know. To me, that I understand they have to start somewhere, but I think eventually we're going to see this shortened up a little bit.
Yep. We'll figure. It's better than nothing, which is what we had before.
Yes, it's definitely better than the nothing that we had previously.
Speaking of better than nothing, they have made some improvements to matchmaking. They've added rules for putting together teams when you're solo queuing. Teams cannot have more than 3 warriors. They can't have more than 4 assassins. Can't have more than 2 supports. Can't have more than 2 specialists, and can't have more than 3 melee heroes.
Okay.
They also wanted everyone to know that this does not prevent full parties from making any composition they want. So go nuts. You want to do your all specialist team, you can.
Yeah, all tanks. Just all tanks, man.
Apparently they said here that if a party has spent longer than 6 minutes in matchmaking queue, the team composition rules may be broken in order to find a match.
Let's hope that day never comes.
Talk about things that are too long.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. I hope you break the rules after 3.
Yeah, exactly. Let's shorten this up a little bit.
Shorten it up, Liz. Come on.
Yeah.
Waiting too long for these things.
We're good. I'll take the team with 4 warriors on it. It's fine.
Fine. And apparently their inbox has looked a lot like ours because they added a quick cast to the game.
Yeah.
This feature is just bizarre to me. I understand it's a League of Legends feature, but coming mainly from Dota, but also mainly StarCraft here, to me, I'm like, how can everyone saying it's not pro when you have an extra button to click? Aren't you making it harder and therefore increasing the skill cap?
Yeah, I've never played with this.
I've never tried it either, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, me too, but
I think I have to go with the on-release option.
That's what I was trying. Yeah, we have a couple options here. Off by default, which is it continues to function the way it was. So if you have an aimed ability, you have to toggle on the targeting and then click to actually activate it.
Which is fine. Which is totally fine. I don't know why that's not good.
I don't have an issue with it, but since I haven't used quick casting, again, can't really speak. I might get into it and be like, oh my god, this is like chocolate and peanut butter. Where has this been my whole life?
It could happen.
If you just turn it on, then pressing it will just immediately activate the ability and send it in the direction of where your mouse cursor currently is. Then there's also the on release option, which means you depress the key, and when you release the key, it then activates wherever your mouse cursor currently is. And I'm thinking I'm going to like that one better.
Yeah, I think I can deal with that. That's actually very similar to, in WoW, you actually oftentimes have the ability on release, So you can click something and be like, oh, wait, I don't want to use it yet. And then I just hold it down, and then I let go, and I'm like, cool, there you go. And I actually go that route because I feel like it's actually a little easier for me to spam stuff that way.
Yep.
And
waiting for that little...
When I'm healing, I'm able to change my mind at the
when you're spamming steady shot, waiting for that global cooldown to come off.
Exactly.
Yep. I just hold down my number 2.
You can also do that like mouse hold, wander off the thing to make sure you don't click on it.
Yeah. But again, like I still feel like I'm not gonna like this. I just looking at it, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna lose control a little bit too often.
No,
like I'm gonna miss skill shots that I wouldn't have missed because I'm gonna just let go a little early or something like that when I didn't mean to.
To me, it's been very much like if you're playing Halo and you switch over to Call of Duty, like why are you complaining about why your grenade button changed? It's a completely different beast. But hey, I mean, we may come back next week and say we've all been living in a cave. This is awesome.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah, it's like I should have just been complaining to Blizzard that every time I switch from Diablo to this game, I'm one row of buttons lower and it's throwing me off, Blizzard. So make it like Diablo.
You need to give me an in Diablo mount because I keep hitting that Q button. I'm not going anywhere.
You mean Z?
Is it Z?
It's Z is mount.
Z is mount.
Q is your first ability.
What, though? What's amazing about Z being mount is Z is mount in World of Warcraft for me. So I was like, yes, perfect. They know exactly what I use to mount. Z.
My middle mouse, like the mouse wheel click, is my mount in WoW.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? That's auto.
I need that for other stuff though. That's.
Oh no! Sorry. That is auto run. You're right. I think it's one of my thumb buttons.
I use that for damage, man. I need to put an ability there.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's my auto run, actually. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's my auto run.
I thought of the matchmaking improvements. That it's interesting. They decided that 3 melee heroes is a max.
That is a little bit strange, huh?
It just speaks that range is really powerful, and maybe those melee heroes do have some advantages over the range heroes, but clearly you're at some sort of disadvantage if you don't have, and there's no like ranged hero maximum.
No, you're like, yeah, go ahead and have all range.
I'm
That's
sure
fine.
it's got to be based off of some kind of statistics they're looking at internally.
Sure.
And I can see these rules changing.
Yeah, I'm sure stuff will get added,
as
stuff
time
will get
goes
taken
on.
away, and they'll adjust the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. UI, the user interface. This has been incredibly overhauled. In game, it looks like a completely different game. Out of like in the main menus, it's similar, but there's still a lot of changes. They have added a looking for party panel also, so that's I'm interested to try this. I noticed it when I got in. I showed people on my friends list who were looking for parties. Kind of like you get into Diablo right now, and there's open games for your friends, and you can just like one click join their game. This looks like it works kind of similar. At least it reminded me of that. It looks like it's implemented really nicely. But it says here that the looking for party panel will display players who are looking to join a party, as well as existing parties in search of more members. Players can indicate that they would like to join a party by clicking the checkbox in the panel. And apparently players of similar skill will have a star display next to their names in the panel. I'm kind of curious how to decide that. I'm sure it's from your hidden MMR.
Yeah. So that means if I have a star and Kyle doesn't, one of us is better than the other.
And we screen cap and email.
Exactly.
Yep.
EP moments will happen. This is really good though, because that is one of the biggest problems right now for me is logging into the game, seeing that a few of my friends are on, but they're in a game and I can't really communicate with them and say, hey, when you're done, let's join up.
I was
they basically don't get the message.
In the one game I played before the show, I was getting whispers while I was in a game, and it's still that garble of numbers showing up from the person who's whispering you. So everyone who's just like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, inform me who you are if I'm in a game, because I don't know who anyone is.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, you're taking my eyes from the game to read your silly text. Like, what we really need is that UI to show maybe how damaged the main bases are, or what the game elapsed time has been.
Like DBM does in World of Warcraft. So and so is currently fighting Lich King. 33%. 2 out of 10 players dead.
Yeah. You click him. He's like, he's at 73%. You know, that would be amazing.
That would be really nice.
Blizzard, I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Give us some statuses.
They added an in-game clock, which I'm jazzed about. I love that in the patch notes, the final bullet point in the official patch notes under UI just says hexagons. Because if you go and you look at the new in-game UI, it is nothing but hexagons.
It's
everything.
True. Yeah.
Everything is a hexagon.
But that makes it fit nicely, right? You can put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of hexagons going on. And
sure. Nexagons.
Why isn't that our podcast name?
Whoops.
Missed.
Started the show too early.
Hashtag missed opportunities.
Yep.
Back when everything was just plain circles and squares.
Yeah. This is a whole new game. I mean, we just make a whole new podcast.
That's great.
Into the Nexus is now officially over. Welcome you to our new podcast.
Into the Nexagon.
Yeah.
3 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Pretty good.
Kyle, I specifically kept this in, even though we truncated the notes, just because I knew you would enjoy it. Voiceovers had an overhaul. All of the heroes now have complete voiceover kits.
Yay.
Sweet.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Kyle, he's kind of a voice actor nerd, everyone. That's why I kept it in.
I do get a little excited. I was listening to an advertisement for Michigan the other day, and it was like, hi, I'm Ranger Venture. And it was freaking Rainer talking about how I should visit Michigan.
Oh, I'm so glad Rob Clotworthy's doing more stuff. Every time you see Ancient Aliens, it's just like, sounds like Rainer's telling me about this. Oh, he is. That's right.
And it is.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. And apparently a lot of the background characters have been changed. So I don't know if these are complete overhauls. Like if our, Blackheart's Bay pirate, they now got a real voice actor to do it, or if...
I think that's pretty much what happened. Because before you would get like, bury me treasure, blah, blah, blah. And he's just yelling all this stuff that sounds kind of weird.
Hey, Steve the intern, come over here. Stand in front of this mic.
Yeah. Talk about buried treasure. But now so like not only that, but it's not going to say like these announcements in this kind of generic voice, you're going to get actual announcements pertaining to the thing in a voice that matches it. So
Yeah, it's
that's
good
kinda
stuff.
cool.
Apparently, new music.
Not only that,
added.
but there's like 30 minutes of music added too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said,
live music. Awesome.
When they said
Well,
live music, I was
recorded.
just like, what is it going to be like an audience cheering in the background? Is it? Did you just give me like AC/DC's live album? Is that what this means?
No, it just means that they actually got in there and recorded some actual music rather than the one song that was playing forever and ever and ever.
They had the Karazhan music on Cursed Hollow. I hope that didn't go away.
Yeah, well, there's been some classic Warcraft 3 music in the background. Personally, I'm a little sad that Tyrael is a hero in the game because I would love basically Blackheart's Bay, except for it's Tyrael and you collect food for him. And when he says he's eaten too much, he just vomits all over the various buildings.
That would be great. It has to be the hidden camp in the desert area.
Exactly.
As the freaking battleground. That'd be amazing. Speaking of battlegrounds, there's been changes to quite a few of them. As well as, not just battlegrounds. Across all battlegrounds, the Night Mercenary Camp respawn time has been changed. It's been increased from 240 to 270 seconds. So
okay. This is like a mini nerf. You can do it less times.
Yeah, exactly.
Not,
Knights will not be as frequent. You will not be beaten down as often by knights, which is good. It Dill's. This is like a soft Dill's Stradamus prediction. I recall you.
I think we're going to get more of this, but I think they're going to start tuning this a little bit.
Yeah, step in the right direction.
Yeah, because we all know, like, you go in there and it's like, all right, let's just get mercs. And the team that gets mercs wins the game.
And a few heroes lost bribe this week, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, I don't know because I haven't gotten into the game, but it seems like bribe may be gone entirely. I don't know.
I didn't check all of the heroes that had it, but could probably find out by just looking over a few of them, because I know there's like 6 or 7 that had it. But yeah, it's I know Stitches doesn't have it anymore. But Brightwing, does Brightwing not have it? No, I think Brightwing still has it.
I haven't looked.
Okay. I don't think it's gone from all of them. I just think they've made it a little bit less common. So I never took it with Stitches anyway, because I'm here to do damage.
I was always kind of surprised that it was on non-support characters. It seemed like a support thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Sergeant Hammer, no bribe for Sergeant Hammer anymore. No bribe for Stitches. I think they're taking it away from like the tanky kind of classes and just keeping it with the support type of classes or something. Because I could take a merc camp no problem with Stitches. I don't need bribe really.
Well, and that makes sense too. If they're trying to counter the snowballing, putting bribe on heroes that are out there killing things is just going to add to the snowball. The more they kill, the more bribe they're going to get, the more merc camps they get. Putting in someone like Abs, who kind of has to like work for those, or even just someone like Gazlo, who is kind of a jungler with some of his skills, and he has to make the choice to be out in the lanes, actively getting bribe, and then going into the woods and using it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah. Did Cursed Hollow get its name changed because it's referred to as Raven Court?
Maybe
in the.
I haven't played yet, but
so that's interesting.
See when we queue into it.
Anyways,
the Raven Lord was overthrown. They went with more of a group effort.
Democratic
court.
This marks the first meeting of the Raven Court.
I think they were like, is there anything really hollow about this map? It doesn't really make any sense. It's kind of a flat thing. It's not a donut.
It's a bunch of farmers watching everything.
Anyways, we talked about the potential change last week. It has gone in. The curse mechanic has been changed, and it no longer reduces building health by 50%. They're now at full health.
Sure.
They still don't attack. Minions still only have 1 health when they're cursed. It's just you have to burn through all of the health of the buildings to kill them, not just 50% of it. Which
let's be honest, doesn't take long anyway.
I'm totally for. Yeah, I had a Cursed Hollow match last night, and we just wrecked the opposing team. It was so snowbally, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you won well enough to get your curses early on in the game, if you got 3 curses, you're strong enough to get 3 forts in a single go. It was too powerful.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, when you take out the problem too is it snowballs because you kill the towers or whatever, and those things give you don't you get the little catapulter guy when you kill those? Plus you get a whole bunch of XP. So
yeah,
it makes it way too easy to take down an entire town or a couple within that time period. So that snowballs the game in a big way. Just from XP and all that stuff too. So.
Speaking of the
Just too many
catapulter,
things.
I learned this past week that the promote ability that you can get on some specialists, which increases the health and damage of a unit, it can't
Yeah.
be used on any of the creeps or any of the mercenaries, but
No.
it can be used on the catapults, which
Yeah,
makes them
'cause-
really powerful.
He's part of the minion group.
Yeah,
you know?
when,
He
once
comes out with them.
you've done enough damage to get the catapults to come out, they're considered minions.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
And
spawning
that
with the
promote is
minion
really
waves.
powerful on them.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. Yeah, I always give it to the dude who gives the health globe, the little guy in the
sorcerer?
middle. Yeah, I feel like it's doing the most work on him early on, and then catapults later. But I actually don't often pick that talent.
no,
No.
me neither.
It seems weak.
I don't think I've ever used it actually.
I just had to try it one time, you know, 'cause I was playing Malfurion and he has it, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. And I was like, this is boring. This is stupid, just buffing
Yeah.
creeps.
No one
Like
seems to, like any. If any of the talents, if I read it and it's like does something to a curve, I'm just like, I don't give a shit about that.
yeah. Like, are you ever gonna take Arthas's new thing where the death coil? Like,
That was
instantly
what I
kills
was
the
going to
creep?
reference. I just the one
Yeah.
game I played Arthas because he's been changed a lot. And the first level, one of the level 1 talents is like death coil is an automatic kill on minions. I'm just like, who the hell wants
Yeah,
this?
you're like, no,
I'm the
hell
Lich
no.
King, not the bitch king.
Well, and it's one of those where it's like, well, that'd be great if I had Regeneration Master where I could get that orb instantly from the wizard, but I can't get it because I got the death coil one and
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing it would be good for is insta killing the wizard dude and getting a health globe like right away and then running off to go do something else. But it takes like 2 hits to kill the damn guy anyway. So what's the point of this?
That's the name of my my metal band, by the way, Insta Killing Wizard.
Insta killing. Nice.
Nice. What do you play, Kyle?
Oh, base, of course.
Bass.
I get
Bass,
down.
okay.
to that.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say magic wand, but all right, bass. I'll take
So
it.
the instrument everyone goes to when they want to join a band, but they don't know how to play an instrument.
Exactly. And you still get all the attention and love.
Dragonshire, the Dragon Knight has been buffed a little bit. He now scales more aggressively in the late game.
Okay.
So
I never really noticed him being too weak or anything later, but all right. Guess so.
he was kind of I mean, in any of the pre-mates I was playing, we would kind of just ignore it late game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he didn't
I
scale.
guess that's true. Yeah.
He didn't scale. You would do more damage just as a team pushing forts.
Yeah, there does become a certain point though where he just kind of is like, well, it's too much time to stop what you're doing, go get both of the shrines and then go get the dude.
Right,
Like it's
exactly.
like we could just push this lane with these creeps.
If you have kind of if you have the offensive, if you're kind of in their base pushing, if the if you're 1 or 2 forts deep and you're whacking on their palace and the other team goes to get shrines and get the Dragon Knight, you're gonna win the race.
Yeah, you're like, whatever, dude. Fine,
race me, we'll win.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like they still want the games to be that same sort of length. Dragonshire is one that can kind of go forever. It's hotly contested. So now by adding that additional level on top, so we're going from 25 to 30, which is going to allow someone to kind of take the advantage on top of that. And now you have Dragon Shrine giving that advantage again to the person winning. I feel like they're just trying to say, all right, games cut off at about that 15, 25-minute mark we've talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes sense when you put it in that perspective, because this will mean that the dragon will actually matter at the end. So
Right.
That's good. It should matter.
Haunted Mines got a big layout change. The battleground looks a lot different than it used to. As a matter of fact, that was the map I played on, and I was so confused.
Okay.
Because
Where do
mercenaries.
they put these watchtowers? There's 2 new ones, but where are they?
I
Are
think
they just,
I think
there's
they're
only 2 lanes, right?
Right.
So-
I think they're staggered diagonally, kind of like they are on other maps.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
remember exactly. I was
One
kind
upper right, one
of
lower left, I
surprised
think.
that it was there. I didn't even really notice it because the mini map looks different, and so I'm kind of
Yeah.
I don't even recognize the mini map. So I'm wandering around. I'm just kind of like, oh, I tripped. Oh, there's a watchtower. When the hell did this get here?
Yeah. It's such a small map though that the watchtower wasn't that important, Whereas in to be honest, the watchtowers to me in this game are nominal at best as far as importance goes. Like I'll grab one if I'm running by, right? But for the most part, they're not really right next to important objectives necessarily. Like I think
They're
on,
good
on
they're really
Blackheart's Bay, you can see people going for the golem, and that's kind of a big deal.
right.
but-
Blackheart's Bay. And I've come to respect them a little more in the later game when you're on
Sure.
the other side of the map. If there's one that's near your base, it's nice to have it so that you can have a little more warning if you need to hearth and defend.
Yeah. But really, like what they're, when you think about the wards and stuff in Dota, like to me, you place them somewhere that you want to know if somebody's traveling through.
Exactly.
And here it's like they're always going to be in these places. You could just kind of run around you can see the edge of it. It's
Yep.
like, oh, it's red. The other team has it. So I'll just avoid that. Nobody knows I'm here. I would rather be able to actually have wards, pop them in bushes, do that whole thing.
It'd be cool if they gave something like a ward to
It could just
support.
be a talent for somebody.
Yeah,
right?
talent like a support for talents for support players or something.
Yeah, it could be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Haunted Mines. There's mercenaries have been changed around. The jungle area looks completely different. It's a lot more kind of mazy. There's all kinds of little nooks and crannies.
Cool.
So, it's awesome. And so now this brings us to kind of hero changes, of which there were tons.
Yeah.
So Kyle,
Pretty much all the heroes, right?
much like the last time, Kyle, that we got a big sweeping balance change, you wanted to just kind of talk about who got buffed, who got nerfed.
Right, and I've divided these into a couple categories.
Yeah,
so just straight buffs. It's going to be Diablo, Lili, Muradin, Witch Doctor, and Tychus. Diablo, his is kind of interesting because they basically said everyone's picking Piercing Fire anyway. There was a point where you could get his fire waves to go through things, thereby not only hitting the first thing they hit, but everything beyond there. And they just said, well, everyone's picking that anyway. It's default now.
That's actually, I'm noticing that they're making that kind of default across the board now, because Nova's snipe now goes through as well.
That's a
Right,
talent.
and that was something you had
isn't
to
it?
pick.
I thought that was a talent they had to add.
Yeah, but now you just don't have to add it. So like they're just making this default. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I
stuff just
misread
goes through stuff. Yeah, because it was always really annoying when you're trying to snipe something and it hits a stupid creep instead. And you're like, well, damn it. And like there were a lot of times where I just didn't even see there was a creep there. So he's underneath like stitches or something like that.
Right.
But now it's just gonna go through. So it's nice.
And, for people who aren't playing yet, like, it doesn't really matter. But if you are actively participating in the game, like, this is just an encouraging way to work buffing or nerfing something by just saying, well, it's passive anyway, you were picking it. So no one's really going like, well, why'd you get rid of it? It was wonderful. Why change what's not broken?
Yeah. It's good. By the way, Witch Doctor didn't seem to be that bad to me. I was surprised to see Witch Doctor.
It's more that they're helping out Gargantuan.
Oh, I see.
He now explodes from the ground and does some damage in the area. You can target where he spawns, but much like the Ultralisk I've talked of, once he pops up, he just goes and does his own thing.
Gargantuan kind of really wrecked shit up before, though. Now it's gonna wreck it even more. It's like I'll be curious to see how this pans out, because anytime I saw a Gargantua previously, I would just run.
Oh, hell yeah.
They hurt.
And I mean, the fact is it was an ulti that stuck around beyond the Witch Doctor's death too, which is always pretty sweet when you're talking about these things. So
yeah.
I mean, a really short cooldown on top of that. Now they're making it so he only takes 50% damage from structures. So making it so he can push even harder.
Holy crap. Okay. All right. We need to find a pocket Witch Doctor now too, I think.
And they changed it so that his Ravenous Soul, his big ghost, moves with the now modern movement speed, so he can keep up.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Nerfs.
Lili, nothing too big going on there. Tychus, so nerfs. You got Brightwing. These are just some damage nerfs.
Yeah, Brightwing got
weird.
Minor nerfs for Brightwing.
Why? But was Brightwing doing way too much damage? I never saw Brightwing doing too much damage.
That particular talent does a big spike of damage if you are hit in the center.
Okay.
Yeah, the arcane flare, the kind of lobbied shot of magic that then exploded.
And if there's a level 1 talent that makes it do 50% more damage at the core also, and that has also been nerfed.
See, I always just felt like it's such a slow thing to hit, like it just never even hit me. So it was fine. Like, oh, if it hit me, like that, my bad, I deserve this.
Let's be honest, it's because you weren't playing against me.
I
always hit my target.
You got the skills. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Well, and this is one of those great philosophy changes too, which is just why nerf Brightwing's healing when you can just kind of get rid of the damage and still further establish that hero as support.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. When I saw Brightwing kind of up on the chopping block, I was really scared that they were going to cut her healing abilities or nerf Polymorph in some fashion, and that's not the case. Pixie Dust is still awesome, Polymorph is still awesome, and that passive heal is amazing, and it still is. So.
And the Brightwing sort of lobby attack we're talking about, this has a very similar delay in its shot to many other MOBA heroes you play. So when you do get a hold of Brightwing, a lot of people can just instantly go, oh, I got this.
Yep.
This is just like blah, blah, blah spell on so-and-so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Falstad's kind of an interesting nerf. His fly now leaves a little indicator where he's about to land.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, getting ganked by Falstad was pretty frustrating. So
Yeah,
I'm okay
he just lands on your head all of a sudden out of nowhere. That was kind of annoying.
That adds, new skill on both ends. Now Falstad has to think about where he's flying to. He has to try and do it in a sneaky location, and you need to keep that in mind and react to it accordingly.
Right, and I can choose to juke into the woods rather than just dying running back in a straight line.
Sure. That makes sense.
Taskart, you're going to love this one, Garrett. His go invincible and invisible
Blink
has been reduced by half a second.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was basically like a never die kind of thing, or especially early in the game. You cannot kill Tassadar.
I am going to.
You're like, oh, we got it. No, never mind.
I'm going to eat your lunch, Tassadar. I'm going to eat it.
And he's straight up losing base health and health per level.
Sweet.
Okay. Wow.
Good. I hate Tassadar.
Yeah, he was he's tough, Although Tassadar is supposed to be a badass, right? So, but still,
everyone in this game is supposed to be a badass.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good point. Well, Murky's supposed to be a badass, really?
In his own way.
In his own weird, stupid way.
He's a badass among adorable baby Murlocs.
Because think when you make a copy as Abathur, you are now a suicidal version of that character, and you do things and you stand in places where you would never would as like Nova. I'm just gonna stand in the middle of everything and shoot because who cares if I die? Murky's gonna have that. He has crap damage, but if that crap damage comes with an insane personality, it could get some stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
You can poison, respawn, blow a bubble around himself and not take damage. I don't know.
That's going to infuriate me.
Yep. It's going to be so irritating.
Something gets cast on you. If you're quick enough, you can throw this bubble around yourself and just avoid the spell entirely, any damage. And that's just good. There's going to be wasted ults, and that always hurts.
Yep.
Tassadar. He's already doing that to me. I love this philosophy they did here with the early game nerfs, late game buffs. So Abathur, Raynor, and Demon Hunter, right out of the gate, they're doing less. Level 1, it's going to be a little easier. But as the game goes on, they are going to surpass what they previous were.
Yeah, Raynor's looking like he's going to be even stronger late game, which I didn't see him as having any issues in that department. But whatever.
Right, but now it's going to take him about 5 or 6 levels to get to where he previously was. And until that time, the whole early game, he's going to be lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. He is.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Hard to kill early game.
He was definitely really strong early on, so I think all of these are actually fine. I think they're doing the right thing in almost every case here. Just looking at like this little thing. I think all of these people, except for Witch Doctor, seems weird, but okay. Everybody else.
I agree with Witch Doctor. I've been loving him. I've actually stopped playing because I'm bored with winning with him. I'm just
he's too good.
We got our big overhauls, which we're all about to pick a hero and kind of go into. So I'm just going to run through them. Illidan, Sergeant Hammer, Stitches, Tyrael, and Uther all just got huge changes to how their talents are laid up. Some of them are switched around, and some of them just got new abilities, straight up new passives.
Yes, some of these guys look like new heroes entirely. If you've played them before, lots of changes. Lots of freaking changes.
And a couple minor changes all around, but some heroes didn't get touched at all. Like Kerrigan's not even on this list.
Good. I'm very happy with her.
Fine.
Whispers are that like internally they're very happy where she is and that she's kind of a model hero that they're bouncing around.
That's cool.
She's amazing.
Completely unsubstantiated rumors, but this patch seems to kind of enforce that rumor.
Yeah, I think she's fine too because she does a lot of damage, but uses a lot of mana to do that damage. So
Yep, and doesn't have a
kind of
whole.
have to come out of the fight a little bit here and there.
Also, doesn't really have an escape mechanism.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like she's really good if you play her good, and that means that it's a well balanced hero.
I feel like some of the Tyrael overhaul is a little weird. Tyrael and Uther have these abilities where when they die, they become a ghost. Tyrael becomes this ghost that chases you and then explodes. And Uther becomes this really freaking annoying ghost that gets to stay around for a bit and hit everyone. And is invincible.
Yeah,
But-
you're still controlling. Yeah.
But when I pick a hero, the last thing I'm thinking of, I can't wait to die as this hero. And I'm going to spec myself so that when I die, I am awesome.
Yeah. That is true. It's not something I know when I played Uther, I was like, oh, I get to live longer as dead Uther. No, I'm not taking that. No, never mind. Just never take that.
Right, so now Tyrael has the option that when he dies, he comes back a percentage quicker the more people he hits with his explosion. That's cool. It's great to get back in the game, but why not just not die in the first place?
Sure.
I prefer Uther's after death far more than Tyrael's.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea originally was like these guys will just get in the fight and not worry so much about dying.
Yeah.
But that's really not how you're going to play, you know? And then if you take talents that improve that, they're wasted talents if you play really well and don't die. So it took talent points that you never used.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah.
I would like these particular traits of these heroes to get to a point where there aren't talents for them, and it's just a nice bonus.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that I'm not a game designer, but I agree with you, Dills, and I would like to see something that kind of acknowledges that and kind of works with it.
No, it makes sense.
So, since there's so many hero changes, we're not going to go in and talk about every single hero, but we are each going to pick one to talk about that we were, kind of excited about. And I've mentioned in the past, big Arthas fanboy, and Arthas is getting switched around, so I want to talk about Arthas. So going into his changes, Frostmourne Hungers, the trait has been changed. It can be activated to cause Arthas' next basic attack to deal 100% increased damage, and it returns 30 mana when a target is hit. And the supporting talents for this have also been reworked. As a matter of fact, one of the talents I grabbed made it 60 mana returned when hit, and it's so nice.
Right, and one of them did exactly this, where you would just activate it, your next hit did double damage. So again, getting rid of another talent, combining them.
Yep.
So, but this is like another button to press, basically. Then, like throughout the entire game.
It was there before.
Okay.
It's just better now.
Yeah. Okay. Because So not all of the traits are like an active thing. So I didn't know if his was active before because I actually never played Arthas, not a single time.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of underwhelming before.
Yeah. Oh no, I did play him at BlizzCon. The first game I played, I obviously picked Arthas.
That's what I played as, and we got destroyed because, you know why? Kyle played Tassadar on the opposing team.
It's so true. That game was awesome.
It was bullshit.
You just happened to pick an OP hero, and Garrett happened to pick one that was super weak.
And I went with Syndragosa, which apparently is
bad. Which got buffed, by the way.
Yeah, it did. Frost Strike is gone. Out the window. Goodbye. And a new Q ability has been added, Death Coil. It's a targeted ability with medium range. It deals damage if it's used on an enemy, but you can actually target yourself with it, and if you hit yourself with it, it heals Arthas for same amount of that it would do damage. I really like this because one of the talents, which is the level 16 talent, Immortal Coil, was one of the options. Death Coil always heals Arthas.
Mm-hmm.
If you use it to heal Arthas, like you target it, it does 50% more healing.
Death Coil is such a Death Knight thing, too, Right. It's kind of needed to be here at some point. Although I would consider Arthas to be a Frostspect Death Knight, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you had to imagine what spec he's running.
Well, he's also kind of just a badass, so he should have everything.
Yeah, he's just like,
I want Defile, damn it. I want to drop down a black blot, and when someone stands in it, it gets bigger.
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, so if you drop it on, 3 heroes, can never get out of it, that would be it.
The whole map just is
amazing.
Engulfed in Defile. That would be. I mean, there could be a size limit to it, but I think that'd be so fun.
It would be pretty cool.
a mortal coil is cool, but at the same level 16, you also get the choice of it deals 20% more damage for each 10% of life you're missing. That's going to be a
Get in there.
smack. Yeah.
Yep. As a freaking warrior class, your whole job is to soak damage, and then to have your main ability be amplified in damage for how much health you're missing.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And it's gonna be like, oh, you think you're killing me? Nope, I killed you. Never mind.
Yep. Frozen Tempest, which I believe is that the passive?
No, that's the activated sort of spirits flying around you in an aura.
That's the aura. Yeah, you're right. And it just stays, as long as you have mana, it's happening, and it slowly drains your mana. It now applies a stacking movement speed slow of 6% per second up to 5 stacks. They said previously Remorseless Winter Talent did this, but it has been removed and just rolled into Frozen Tempest. Awesome. Okay. More, streamlining. The mana cost.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, it costs a little more, though. It now costs 10 mana instead of 8 per second. The Biting Cold talent is now accessible at level 13 instead of 16. Army of Dead, its cooldown has been increased. It used to be 80 seconds, and it's now 90 seconds. Whereas Sindragosa's cooldown has been decreased from 100 to 90.
So they're the same exact thing now. Yeah.
Search width increased from 5 to 8, so that's a pretty big width increase. And then the damage gain per level has increased from 10 to 15.
Yeah, so this is basically just Blizzard looking at what are people picking, and I go, no one's ever picking Sindragosa. Probably needs to get buffed.
Yeah, although we've had I was talking to D-Day the other day, and we were having a big debate with one of the other guys on our team who was playing Arthas, who said Sindragosa was utterly useless, and D-Day was just saying that in their team composition, when they run Arthas, they always went Sindragosa because it was just this massive freaking CC. Just freeze everyone in the lane.
And
I can see that.
The choice for me just was, are you winning or losing? Mm-hmm. If you're winning, Sindragosa, because you're going to be chasing. Getting a huge freezing wave out in front of you at level 20, this freezes them to the ground. Like, that's just everyone's abandoning, trying to run away, and you guys win. If you're behind, Army of Dead causes more targets. You can destroy them for health. That's a great sort of, we need to come back and I need to stay alive.
I like the healing factor from Army of the Dead more than anything else. It's so good.
Right. Well, and also, I mean, all those ghouls you have, they don't body block. So they're just running around doing minimal damage. It really is about the health gain you get from destroying them.
Right. Mm-hmm. Rune Tap was nerfed slightly. Its health restore has been reduced from 8 to 6%.
Yeah, good. This thing was powerful, and there was no reason to pick anything else.
Yeah, and I'm still looking at it. I'm just like, I think I'm still going to pick this every time. It's so nice. It's still good. So overall, I'm just really jazzed about Arthas, and I only got to play one game with him because we only had 20 minutes before the show with Heroes back up. But I'm smitten. I'm gonna be playing a lot more Arthas.
Yeah, he looks good now. He looks like they fixed all the big issues. You know, just basically that he was weak.
He feels like the Lich King, man. It's nice. I feel like people should fear me as I'm entering the battle.
Well, I'm looking forward to playing some games with you as Arthas now, because me as Stitches, you as Arthas, we can just control the hell out of people. Like, they just won't be able to get away.
We need to make some kind of like wrestling intro music as these two big brawlers just come out.
The tag team of Arthas and Stitches. Yeah.
One night only, Stitches and Arthas tag team.
I'll go Diablo. We'll just throw around people all day.
Yeah, we'll just never let people go anywhere. It's like, nope, you're not going anywhere, buddy. You are staying here, and we are killing you.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So who's next? Dills or Kyle?
Kyle's next in the notes. So.
Okay. I didn't know who picked this.
So this past week, I spent a lot of time playing Illidan, and apparently all that went to waste. He'd been completely
learned
redesigned.
Nothing.
Yep. Which is a very good Illidan quote, I think.
Yeah. You are no longer prepared, sir.
Did we lose Kyle?
Oh, man. Perfect timing, by the way, on the Kyle loss right there.
Yeah. It shows him is still in the call, but I can't hear him. Oh, there he goes. He has now officially been lost.
Okay. Well, let's talk Stitches then.
I guess let's talk freaking Stitches.
All right. We'll wait for Kyle to rejoin us at some point. I'm sure it's going to happen. He'll come back in and he'll be like halfway through talking about Illidan. I don't really feel so. Like they at the top they said Stitches I've been playing a lot of Stitches. The top they said received significant talent changes, but it's not like a full rework, really.
No, he's not like, when we're going to talk about Illidan whenever Kyle gets back, and Illidan looks like a new hero.
Yeah, and they actually said that. Like, they basically just redesigned him from the ground
Stitches
floor.
looks the same, just more awesome.
Yeah, he's just got some really cool stuff now. So, before you would have this gas that would actually affect people who are, like, if you were taking damage. But I can actually like attack that to my cleave now, my cleaver, my vial cleaver. So I can actually like do it on my own actively, which is kind of nice. And so the vial gas will be affected there. But I'm really excited about these hook changes. So I'm probably not going to take this one, but at level 13, I can now choose Helping Hand as a talent, which means I can hook my own teammates, which could be pretty helpful. It's like a life grip in WoW or something. But can be pretty helpful for saving somebody's ass. Somebody's overextended, and I'm like, hey, I want to grab you and get you out. I need to see this work, though, because I'm a little confused on, like, if you're in there and you're surrounded by 3 dudes, I want to hook my buddy, not the bad guys. What if I hit the bad guy instead? Like, how do I choose? How do I decide? I just have to aim really well, I guess. But that'll be interesting. I am going to pick this a few times just to kind of play with it. But I'm probably going to pass that and mostly go for this next one, which is level 16 Shish Kebab. I can hook 2 targets. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And this can also be combined with Helping Hand, so you can grab a friendly and an enemy.
Sure. It's basically it's going to hit 2 people. Like if it goes through 2 people, it's like boom, I got them both now.
Yeah.
But this is going to really help for team fights where I can kind of bring the fight. I can put the fight where we want the fight to be, basically. So I can move 2 entire heroes into a spot that we want. And the hooking is already incredibly fun right now. It's going to be way more fun when I can hook 2 people. So I'm excited about this.
I want to try running Kerrigan with you as Stitches, and I want you to call out your hooks, and I'm going to drop her AoE stun right in front of you.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of stuff like. I think this is what D-Day's team is doing that we're not utilizing yet, but we'll get there.
I'm back.
Hey, what's up? All right. Well, we're talking about Stitches right now.
We jumped to Stitches since she dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we'll backpedal to Illidan.
But they so then he's also got now Slam has got a couple of talents now around that. It's just kind of improved on the Pulverized talent, which had a 0.5 second stun. But now it's also going to increase the damage even more of Slam.
Yeah, by an additional 50%. So it's going to hit like a truck. It's going to hurt.
Yeah. I always took that anyway. So
yeah, I'm glad they reduced the stun on that. It was a bit much.
Yeah. But it's really effective just to stun for a second. Like a half a second is fine. You know what I mean? That's all you need. You just need that little quick stun stops people.
There's lots of abilities that channel too. So just interrupting those are amazing.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Anything that's an interrupt. That's why Polymorph is so damn strong on Brightwing.
And when you get the super wide 90-degree slam, it's like I can just hit like 4 people and stun them all at the same time. It's like a mini ult sometimes,
Yeah.
Just how effective that is. And then also the slam. I was talking about that vial gas earlier. At level 4, I can now make my slam actually apply that vial gas, which is pretty sweet. So more dots, more dots.
Sweet.
Now
Many dots.
Devour.
Vile gas. That's better than horrible fart.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Devour was actually being picked now. I think less than the bile, So like remember last time they messed with Stitches, they buffed the bile. Now they actually went back and did some stuff to Devour. So you can actually now take a talent that will, Devour is the other thing. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. But Devour will not only heal you at that moment, but it also permanently heal you better throughout the rest of the fight.
It permanently increases your health regeneration.
Yeah. So that's insane. And then the other choice I can do at level 7. So I got basically 2 choices here. Is have the cooldown reduced by 15 seconds if I kill something. Probably not going to take that one. Because it's actually pretty hard to kill something with this thing. It's way easier to kill stuff with Slam. So I'm probably going to be more inclined to take Savor the Flavor over Last Bite. It's just, it's hard to plan things out like killing something with that specific talent in a game as hectic as Heroes. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for these changes. Looks real good. I just want to hook 2 people, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for that right now, actually.
So
That's
Kyle,
not in the game yet, right?
no, it is.
Yeah, it is.
All of this is in the game now.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a future change they were thinking about making.
No, you can
Nope,
double
it's
hook.
here, man. Now the one where I can hook my friends, that's gonna be just like I'm just trolling you guys for a match. I'm just like,
Well, it's kind of like that's how Pudge works in Dota, right, Kyle? And that's kind of the issue of being Pudge is that I got to make sure no one's in front of me. So like,
Right.
I don't know why you would take this on purpose. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
if you're doing a tank build, I mean, there's definitely a way to do stitches where you are going for damage. But if you just take everything, you take blocks, you take increased health, like you're gonna maybe want to grab a friend out of the way and stand in front of them.
sure. No, there's definitely a lot of good, like, you can kind of go a couple of different routes with Stitches. You can be that big tanky kind of control the fight guy, or you can do what I generally do, which is I just want to do a bunch of damage to everybody, which is, I think, really the effective way to play Stitches right now in this, in the current form. But this, if you go that tanky build, this is definitely going to be the way to go, I think, is kind of protecting your teammates, getting them out of trouble, stunning a couple guys, letting your guys get away and stuff. So it'll be used, but I don't know if it's going to be used all that much. We'll see.
yep.
The combo that's really driving me nuts right now is Gorge and Sprint. So when you're gorging, you swallow someone up, and then you just kind of slowly walk away. At level 13, you then can increase your movement speed for 3 seconds and basically run right behind a tower wall.
Yeah, like get there real quick. Yeah, yeah. That really helps early on. The thing that I'm noticing though is that Gorge is like less effective as the game goes on. It starts to, it just scales kind of badly. It's not that it scales because of what it does damage wise, but just the type of fights you get into change as the battle changes, or as you get deeper. And I feel like the bile is just so strong towards the end, where I could just pop it and run around in circles, slamming people and devouring people and stuff, doing all this AoE damage while I'm doing other things, because it's just passive at that point once I activate it.
Yeah.
So I'm generally sticking with that for now, but there's definitely going to be maps where it's going to be better to gorge people.
So Kyle, take us through
Yes.
Illidan.
Prepare
Because there's
us,
a lot to
sir.
talk about him, and we're already about to hit our usual allotment of time for the show.
Oh, good. Well, I guess where I left off. The developer was saying he was watching The Hobbit, and he was thinking he wants Illidan to be more like Legolas and jumping all over the place and being more active. The thing about him right now in his current, what was his current build, was that he was a lot like Zeratul. He'd just kind of charge out of the bushes, slam, do a bunch of damage, and then if you died, you died, or he'd kind of stand around for a little while and waiting for those things to recharge, but didn't have anything that really made him special. So they changed everything around. In my opinion, made him a bit more Warcraft 3-ish, which is nice, by giving him an evasion ability. But they're trying to find the personality of him, which is a really interesting thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He seems like he's going to be much more tanky now, to be honest. Like, he's going to be much harder to kill.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense, because before he was just a Zeratul who couldn't go invisible. And so he's a vulnerable Zeratul? Why not? I'll just pick Zeratul.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, his self-healing now looks really awesome. His basic attacks are going to lower ability cooldowns by 1 second, but they also heal him for 20% of the damage done.
Right, so that's a nice combination of some of the talents you would get in your first couple levels. It was if you want to survive, you had to pick the more damage and then get damage on hit. So now, hey, it's just been combined into your single passive ability.
Right.
Makes sense.
Sweeping strikes really hasn't changed much. Dive, it used to be kind of a dash forward. Now it's a dive, as you can actually kind of leap over things. So you can leap over terrain.
He does like a backflip in the air, and you can go over freaking walls and buildings. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's sweet. I mean, for one thing, if for some reason you used your metamorphosis to appear behind a wall, take someone out, you then had to slowly walk your ass out, getting hit by the towers. Now you can actually dive over it. And if you're hitting things, you're reducing cooldowns of abilities. You can dive over the wall, hit, reduce that cooldown, and dive back over the wall.
Yep.
So how long is the initial cooldown on this?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. Okay. So that's. I mean, you could kind of do that without the reduction. Just dive to just get somewhere.
Oh, right. But each hit he does now decreases the cooldowns by 1 second.
Yeah.
Again, kind of combining some old talents. And they also just completely got rid of the mark thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really fascinating kind of, that's why he didn't have mana thing going on. But I guess they decided that wasn't for him. Maybe too much work.
They also mentioned, I believe in the Q&A, that they said while they were looking at other heroes that are coming down the pipeline, that also kind of made them reassess Illidan. Maybe thinking that the kit they gave him is going to be better suited for someone else.
Someone else. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fair enough. And that makes a lot of sense, actually, because if you look at Tyrande, she lost her passive mark ability as well. It's now an active. You have to click on them, and it gives it for a few seconds. So I guess someone in the future is going to be making a big deal over someone's head.
Yeah.
Right. Tyrande looks badass now. Her new model's in. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I'm curious to see what other new models went in.
Oh, I haven't gotten a chance to see.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it. Right after we're done, though.
Yeah, she looks great. Oh, I'm definitely going to play a game after this.
Yeah.
And his third ability, it makes me so happy to see it. Evasion. It's active. It does have a 15-second cooldown, but you click it, and for the next 1.5 seconds, you avoid incoming basic attacks.
That is so cool.
It was a passive in Warcraft 3, but hey, it's the picture. It's the icon. It makes me geek out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's great.
But dude, the talents on this thing, if you go full evasion talents, you're going to be impossible to kill. I was just looking at these.
Yep, level 1, Mnemonic Life Force. Evasion also grants a shield that lasts for 5 seconds. Holy crap. Level 7, Lingering Evasion. Illidan gains 2 charges of block, 50% reduced basic attack damage, which lasts for 5 seconds after evasion wears off.
Yeah.
And then level 13, Spell Evasion. He takes 50% reduced damage from abilities while evasion is active.
It's crazy.
Oh
you're just going to be oh, we got Illidan. No, we don't have him. We can't kill him. Never mind. Can't kill him.
Nope,
but I love that this is active. Just the fact that if you see a miss go up over someone's head, it's infuriating. To have that passive, it's just, why should I even try going for him? But the fact that if you miss, you know that he's a badass and he clicked it correctly, it kind of helps out.
Yeah, this is going to make or break your engagements with Illidan is when there's proper use of evasion. If you pop it, before they open up on you, it's wasted. But if you see,
it's very roguish too, right? To have this,
absolutely, absolutely, and that's how I think Illidan should feel.
Mm-hmm.
So
he should feel like he's getting behind people and jabbing them and stunning them, doing all kinds of stuff to them.
Yeah, Metamorphosis still kind of works the same, right? Obviously, Mark of the Illidari is gone, but I mean, he's still
it doesn't go away.
That's a level 20 talent.
That's at level 20, yeah. But are you not going to take that? You can basically consider that that's what everyone's going to have.
Yeah.
Which is great for lore because he got the Skull of Gul'dan and then he wasn't I'll use this when I'm ready.
And he was you know what? It's the cooldown's over now. Sorry. It ended.
That's a good point. I love that you just call lore into this, Kyle.
The Skull of Gul'dan. Wow. You know what's funny about that is I didn't raid. I didn't actually kill Illidan when killing Illidan was a thing. So I killed him way later, just for funsies.
So you were very prepared, is what you're.
Never really knew. Yeah, I was over prepared.
You are not. Ow, that hurt.
Knew all of the stuff, and then you play Hearthstone, and you're like, "Who's this Gul'dan warlock? Why is he so famous?" Then you start looking at him, and you're like, "Oh,
Illidan ate his skull and turned crazy."
Yeah, well, he's totally dead though. There's another guy who carries his head around.
Okay, you're gonna see him again in Warlords of Draenor. He's back?
I believe so. No, well, you're going back in time, basically, right?
Exactly. So, get back in time.
Right, to get his skull back or something. Illidan's going to be there. He's going to be pissed.
He's going to get his revenge.
Man,
I am hoping, too, that Illidan has some cool quips with the Murky, because Illidan commanded a Murloc army in Frozen Throne.
I thought
true.
Murloc? I thought it was Nagas.
Well, but the Murlocs were there, and so were the siege turtles and everything else.
Okay, fair enough.
Really, what I want is him just saying, what was I thinking?
Well, I'm sure we'll get some Easter eggs in there.
Yeah. You still excited about the hunt, Kyle? Even though now you can have like perma metamorphosis at level 20?
Yeah, that kind of like that kind of changes the whole thing. But before there was just nothing changed at 20. You had a choice between Bolt of the Storm, a short range teleport, or a bouncing chain attack.
Yep.
Now, so you would pick the hunt in the past, and it still had about a fourth of the map range. Now it becomes global, and you go faster. I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be. You move pretty damn fast. Yeah. But I guess to be there right when you want to be could be worth it.
I also love just the name of this talent. Nowhere is safe.
Yeah. Right, well, and hey, I was using this the other night in our games, and you know how much I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you saw it firsthand. Here comes Illidan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still see this as being very valuable, and I think when you get to like high levels of play, a lot of people will probably choose this. But perma metamorphosis is just too damn cool, I think. Like you could get on your mount while you're
oh my god, what is that going to look like?
It's going to look awesome.
What is that going to look like?
Or it's going to look totally awkward. We don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. We'll report next week on how this new Illidan feels. Let's get into our strategy section real quick. We decided which hero we're going to spotlight this week based off an email from listener Zed. You can send emails to itncast@gmail.com. Zed wrote, "Greetings, heroes. First of all, I want to say thanks for another awesome podcast. I'm a total Blizz fanboy, and I'm really excited for the game. To my delight, I got my invite for the alpha this week, and it is awesome. Congrats. That's great." He said he tends to favor ranged classes and has always had a thing for the ghosts and specters in StarCraft, so he broke down immediately and bought Nova. He said, "I don't regret it one bit. She's an amazing character and incredibly badass. My question is, can you guys give me any tips for improving with her? What I have been doing lately is staying cloaked and dropping a hollow. Then I open up my attack with pinning shot and go from there. Is there a viable strategy? Can you tell me some others that I could try?" Well, luckily for you, Dills here has put a lot of hours into Nova.
I've played a lot of Nova.
Many hours, and she got some nice changes with this patch, specifically involving her opener. Because when I read this email before the patch happened, my initial thing was, dude, you should be grabbing that 20% increased snipe damage when you use it from cloak and not open up a pinning shot. Yeah. But
this was a problem.
Apparently, Blizzard wants you to open up a pinning shot because it makes sense because it's a freaking slow.
Well, it's a slow, and later on, it's a wounding shot as well. So it also increases the damage of your attacks. Like I think all incoming damage for like 2 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So it really makes sense to here you go. Target also takes 25% increased damage for 2 seconds. So it's really like this. I never took ambush at all because basically you
want to open up a pinning shot.
You want to open, like it's like okay, so I take this and then I increase my snipe, but now I've used my abilities out of order. You know?
Right. You've given away your position. What do you do? Terrible sniper.
Yeah, and it's cool because the snipe does really hit hard, and I mean snipe kind of hits hard throughout the game, but when you come out of cloak and you just hit, and it's much easier to hit your skill shot from cloaked position when the guy doesn't know you're there, and isn't evading you at all.
Anyways, the change
we're
talking about is they made it so that ambush, which gives you a 20% increased damage to snipe when it's cast while you're cloaked, now has a 1 second grace period, which means you can get a pinning shot off and then immediately snipe them and still get that 20% increased bonus damage to snipe, even though you weren't technically cloaked when you did it.
You basically coming out of cloak, you then have 1 second where the snipe is still going to be powerful, but which means this is still going to take some skill. Like you're going to have to hit with the pinning shot, and then you're going to have to immediately hit him with the snipe right afterwards.
Quick cast will come in handy.
Yeah, that's true actually, because if you just kind of hover your mouse over them, that's going to work pretty well.
Hitting them with a slow though will make them easier to hit.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
This feels like the way it always should have been.
Yeah, and it slows them by 30%. It's a significant amount of slowing. So,
right.
I feel like one of the other things that really separates a good Nova from a bad Nova is the use of the hollow, because unlike Zeratul, who also has a cloak after a couple seconds, Nova doesn't have any escape.
She doesn't have like a movement speed increase or anything like that. Yeah.
So really, your only way, if someone's on top of you, to get away is maybe to juke through a bush and leave a hollow somewhere nice.
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually if you see like when I'm playing, Nova can actually do pretty well with that as far as like saving other people too, because you can kind of body block people with it and screw them up as they're chasing your friends, you know.
Yeah, you've saved my bacon more than one occasion by body blocking with a holograph.
Yeah, you just go over there and drop one, and it even if they realize that that's what just happened, it always kind of makes people take a moment and go, "Oh, there's Nova," and then they go, "Oh, wait a minute, never mind," and then they try to chase you again.
Yep.
So it works really well.
And also, now I've ignored the real Nova because I'm noticing Nova players standing still and acting like a decoy.
Oh my God, yeah, that's pretty funny actually. Remember when the skin you switch skins and then your decoy didn't switch skins? That was
awful. That was a bad bug. Yeah.
Yeah, very bad. But so I mentioned earlier like that I thought that the snipe now just pierces. It's actually not true. It's actually a level 16 talent.
That's what I thought.
So I'd forgot. Yeah, I had read it a long time ago, and I just kind of spaced on that. But yeah, so level 16, and now we'll go through. But basically, it's the first target's still going to be the biggest damage. It gets 100% damage to the first guy, 50% to everybody else. Which is that's similar to what Raynor does, right? Doesn't the first guy take the most damage, and then everybody else?
I don't know off the top of my head.
But so the holo decoy, the talent I'm actually really excited about is this level 4 talent because I really like using the holo decoy to do cool stuff. And now I can increase the cast range of it by 100%, so twice as far. Which means I can really put it where I want to put it right now. And sometimes you kind of got to run in there, you know.
Does casting the spell break your cloak?
No, it doesn't actually. You can just pop it out there, stay cloaked, and then someone can think that it's you, start trying to get you, and then you pop up out behind them. And you're like, nope, never mind. Here's the real Nova.
It was a ruse.
Nice. Yeah, it was all a ruse. And the other choices at 4 are actually kind of underwhelming, so I'm really looking forward to this. Like you can take a poison, which is kind of cool. I like taking the poison because it helps me. I'm chasing someone down. I think I'm not going to quite get him. If I can just drop a poison on him, I might finish him off. But it's a pretty weak poison, to be quite honest. And then most of the time, what I was taking was a sniper rifle, which increases my basic attack range.
Which is that's pretty good, man.
It's good because you want to stay back. But again, it's like I'm already pretty far back. I don't know, being a little bit farther, but it was only from 6.5 to 7.5, so it wasn't even like, a range of 2 or whatever. It's kind of small. This is going to be, this is like doubling the cast range of this thing. So I think that's a really big deal, especially early on. You can really trick people. You put your decoy in a bush or something, and then you hide in another bush, and then you get to see them find your dude, and then you pop out. So you can do some really cool stuff with her.
Yeah.
I never really take the remote access thing or whatever. They had it already. The holo drone.
It lets you control your decoy.
Yeah, you can control your decoy while it's active. I never really take it because I'm generally putting my decoy down not to then have 2 characters, I'm putting it down just to just to fool with people, just to mess with people.
The vision range increase though is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's true.
It's doubling the vision range of your decoy, and that's the part that I think is of value.
Yeah, right, but it's not a big true sight like what Tassadar gets, so you're still not seeing over bushes or hills or anything.
Yeah,
no,
you can kind of scout something before you get there, which is cool.
Right. But, this is closest thing to a ward we have at the moment.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I think really the way to go with Nova is to just go for big damage. Like being tricky and being all sneaky and in your cloak all the time. That's well and good, but really what Nova really excels at is just in a fight, just picking off heroes one at a time. Like she's very strong single target DPS. When you gotta always take stuff like overdrive. This is another reason why Holo Drone never got picked, because there's overdrive there. When I could take overdrive and I can activate that right before I triple tap you, it's like I can kill heroes from almost full health with, a single attack basically. So I pretty much always take that and then fast reload. Precision strike though is starting to grow on me, and I unfortunately discovered the wonder of stitches before I could thoroughly explore Precision Strike. But
that was another thing we were discussing tonight, and we kind of came to the conclusion the Precision Strike is actually way better for team fights.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if someone can get a stun off, you can, it's a nuke basically, is what it is, right? The StarCraft nuke, and it's really good. It does a lot of damage, and it's got unlimited range, which is, I mean, you could, like, let's say you got to push in and you didn't quite kill the palace. Like, I can be like, well, don't worry, guys, I'll just finish it off from here, So you can do some cool stuff with it, and it's nuts.
And people have figured out how to counter triple tap, because before it was just like, oh, I'm dead. How can I even do anything about this? Well, now it shoots in a straight line. So if someone dives in front of that sort of laser beam for you, they can take the hits, or if you just run through a gate, you can avoid it entirely, and the damage is dealt to the structure.
Yeah, you can basically run. You can also, I think, have somebody block for you, because I've had a few times where that's happened. But also, if you have any ability that shields, you can activate it as soon as you see that you're targeted. It's very obvious that you're targeted with triple tap. So the thing is, though, it's a smaller window between when you cast it to when it actually goes off, whereas Precision Strike is 3 seconds. So
yeah, but Precision Strike takes skill.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And triple tap is just like, I hit this button and they die.
No, not necessarily though. It's tough. You got it, because when you use it, you are now completely stationary.
Well, that's what I mean.
If
you were dumb enough to use it in a team fight, you deserve to die. And if you use it when you're alone, you just got a cheap kill, and I don't respect you.
Okay.
I died a lot to triple tap this week. I died to so many triple taps this week.
I feel like if you were saying that even 2 weeks ago, Garrett, I would have jumped on your boat and said, oh my God, yes, I hate it. But now with people knowing to dive in front of you, like a Stitches just kind of stands there and takes it to the face, like it's pretty counterable. And I feel like
it's
a lot
tougher to get off now. It really is. And
no one wants.
You have to set it up.
It's no fun to be hard to get off.
That is true.
Thank you for that.
Someone had to get on that.
You really do have to set it up now. Like, you got to try to get them to pop any kind of cooldowns or whatever before you use it, and then you also have to get them low enough or get them on the run so that they're not, you can't be in danger, because you're basically standing there, aiming and getting ready to fire.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of Novas kind of figured it out though, because man, Novas were showing up every time I went to go try and ninja a merc camp or something. I was just dead.
They're really. Nova is one of the only heroes that can really go out and gank people on their own, just because of triple tap. So it's she's got a lot of she's a lot of fun to play, but also you can't run around and just take merc camps by yourself. Really, I mean, you kind of can with your decoy. You can definitely take the giants because you can just micro around their rock throwing, but it's just not as easy as, say, Stitches, where I just run in and I'm like, I don't even care if you damage me. I'm just gonna heal up while I'm fighting you. So it's cool. With Nova, it was a little tough. So.
And Raynor has his sort of boost of movement speed, a pushback, and then Demon Hunter has her volt and move forward. Nova, you still got to make some decisions about when you're going to break your cloak.
Yeah. No, it's very true. She's a glass cannon, as it were. But she's totally rewarding, because there is times where you get to level 20 and you kill 4 people in a row with triple tap, and that is a fun moment in the game. So good luck, sir. I hope you have fun playing Nova Zed. And I hope we helped.
Fun hero.
Yeah.
Let us know how that pinning shot snipe works out for you.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, I think we'll just take one email and then end the show. Again, send those emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our email today comes to us from Andrew, who writes, Dear Masters of the Nexus, I recently had an epiphany while getting absolutely smashed in Hearthstone. Were you getting owned in Hearthstone, or were you really drunk while playing Hearthstone? That's what I want to know. He said, I know there have been previous emails asking you guys about your preference on new heroes that come out, so I figured I would throw out an idea and see what you guys think. The whole idea, playstyle, and name of this hero can be summed up in 2 simple but elegant words. Leroy Jenkins. I think it would be totally awesome if they made this guy a hero, maybe an assassin?
No, he's a tank. Come on. He's a paladin.
Do you think, but he just dies.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be a hero? And if so, what kind of hero? Assassin, warrior, abilities? Love the show and keep up the excellent work. I would love to see Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
See, I've got to disagree. I think he should be a support. or not a support, a specialist, a pusher, so that you activate his ability, his charge ability, and as you run, you spawn drakes behind you that then attack the things in the area.
Oh man, that'd be great! Like a dash, and it just
You just
leaves
run forward, and whelps just
a
start
trail
coming
of
out.
whelps.
Right,
The
for
thing
like
is,
5 seconds, you're just leaving a trail of eggs.
they have to be like they have to be kind of detrimental though, right? Like this has to be like a suicide mission, you know? So he has to kind of like run through doing all this stuff, but they just attack anything.
I feel like we
they won't
talked
always
about
attack
this.
the enemy stuff.
It must not have been on air because I feel like we were talking about this.
We did talk about this on the air, I think.
Because I think we decided that he should have a really high damage AOE like whirlwind, but it's a big cloud of whelps, but it hurts him while he does it, like a warlock's hellfire.
Yeah.
Like it's this giant area of death, but he's also draining his own life while he's using it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but if these things, attacked him, anything in the area, like your own heroes, whatever, like it could be pretty cool. And he just
and then when he
basically
dies,
just always is on a suicide run.
And when he dies, it should spawn like a cluster of eggs that pops in the whelps, and they just charge forward.
Yeah. And he just says, "At least I have chicken." And then and then you come back. Like if you have like a shorter death cooldown or something like that, and you can just kind of keep coming back and just. Here he goes again, Leroy. It's like you're all having a team fight, and there goes Leroy just running past. He's just going straight for the buildings, just pushing a lane. That could be pretty fun.
Yep,
I could see that. I mean, they put him in Hearthstone. It's not out of the question, I think, to have him in Heroes.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. It's all signs point to yes.
Signs point to possible.
Oh, thanks for your email, dude. I think that'll do it for this week's episode. Man, there was a lot to talk about, and we'll still be talking about this patch next week when we've actually had a chance to really sit down and chew on it.
That's when we can really analyze it.
Yeah. So before we go, if you are an iTunes listener, please leave us a review. This week we wanted to thank Frostmourne_Hungers and a pirate not from Penzance.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your reviews of the show. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the show, drop us a review. We really would appreciate it. Yeah. Into the Nexus is a production of amove.tv, where you can see this and all of the other shows. Angry Chicken is over there with me and Dills talking about Hearthstone. Kyle's over there with Biggest Fan. Check it out. And Kyle and myself on Amove Radio, which we didn't record this week because Kyle, you're getting over being sick, but the show's not over.
No, not at all. But I will be missing the show next week, as I will be in Seattle picking out my future home.
Yeah, hopefully one with better internet than you currently have.
Yes, indeed. And I will have that internet very quickly, I assure you.
Sweet. Our live show records every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/AmoveTV. Our mobile live stream is provided by Alpha Geek Radio, which you can get by going to mobile.alphageekradio.com. Our Twitter is at ITNcast. I can be found at Garrett Art. Kyle can be found at Kyle Ferguson, and Dills is at Willie Dills. Big thanks to Brian Griffith, the musician responsible for our intro music. His website is briangriffithmusic.com, and you can find my personal graphic design portfolio at nomoonart.com. Dills, where can people find you when you're not talking about Heroes?
You can find me talking about other Blizzard products, such as World of Warcraft on the Instance, and of course, like you mentioned, Hearthstone on the Angry Chicken.
Almost every other Blizzard game. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much all of them except for StarCraft at this point, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Diablo, but Scott's got that one covered.
Yeah, he does.
And you guys had StarCraft covered until recently, but
we can sum it up pretty quickly. Brood Lords getting frenzy. Done. That's like 2 weeks of show right there.
That was this week's Starcast. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Brood Lords are getting frenzy again. They had it in beta.
You can also find me on the TortureCast podcast about San Francisco Giants, first place San Francisco Giants. And if you are a mediocre golfer, MGA is the Mediocre Golf Association. We are in full effect for the season. We've played 3 tournaments, I think, so far. And so we're about getting there halfway, but there's probably a chapter nearby you. And if there isn't, you can start your own. MGAtour.com.
Sweet. Check that out. Kyle, where can people find you?
You can also find me at Amove Radio, where we did miss this past week, but you know what? There's not going to be a Game of Thrones this next weekend, so that'll work out.
Yeah, it does. Go listen to the most recent episode, which is talking about engagements and Game of Thrones.
Which is really sad because they just dangled that fight between the Mountain and Prince of Dorne, which is going to be totally badass, but now we have to wait.
Oh my god. Spoiler, you told me these 2 characters are going to fight.
Oh
How
no!
dare you? I
The
don't
books
know.
have been out forever, man. No, I'm not going to pull that.
I don't know why I'm talking like a Muppet.
That's actually a decent Muppet. You can also check out Biggest Fan Podcast, where we follow the fad that's driving you mad for 3 more weeks. That show is going to be coming to a close, transforming into something slightly new. Slightly more spoilerific, more once a month-ish when there's an awesome movie coming out. But we're going to be hitting up, before we leave, going to be doing Godzilla and X-Men.
Oh, just saw Godzilla.
This is a
I
fun damn movie.
enjoyed it. Yes.
That's a really fun movie.
I really
Mothra?
enjoyed it.
Did he fight a monster? Just him?
I'm not gonna spoil it. I don't want to
Okay,
tell
okay.
anybody.
I really think
Mothra actually
the
came out or
movie is
not.
way more enjoyable if you don't know what to expect, because I didn't know what
Yeah.
to expect, and damn, it was pleasant.
I'll just say this though: in the theater, there were I think 3 or 4 moments when the audience burst out into applause.
Really?
Because of
Nice.
what had just happened.
Oh,
yeah.
mine was super quiet, except for this kid with like a 10-yard stare sitting next to me, sucking on a straw the whole time. It was driving me
Really?
nuts.
Oh.
Well, we saw it at we IMAX 3D'd it, and so I think the
Ooh.
crowd was just really excited because they all spent $20 to watch
Right.
it.
Nice.
So they're like,
That's
"We're
nice.
gonna make the most out of this."
Yeah.
And someone going, no, I know.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
parents,
can't talk right now.
i-
I
i-
know.
if you're a parent and you're listening and your child is kind of an asshole, make them sit by you in the theater, please. Don't let them sit alone and make
With their
spit
buddies.
noises into their straw for a 2-hour
Gross.
movie. I'd really appreciate it.
Right, and
Thank you.
It's 2014. Why are you wearing windbreaker pants to a movie in the first place? And second of all, why are you wearing those pants anywhere when you like to cross your legs every couple of minutes?
Oh, God.
I kept my parachute pants just to go to movies. I hope you know.
I doubt you're gonna see a lot of those pants when you get to Seattle, Kyle. So I think you're making a smart decision here.
Gonna be all flannel.
Just tons, yeah, it's still the '90s, man. It's just like Portland.
1890s.
Good music never stopped in Seattle.
Yep. You're gonna see a lot. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of like waxed and curled mustaches, and just sweet hipster styles, dude.
Yep.
It's gonna
I'm
be
looking
great.
forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Please check out our sponsors, doghousesystems.com and tweakedaudio.com. The code to use is ITN, and that'll get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig, as well as 30% off and free shipping from your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from tweakedaudio.com. We thank them for their support, and we thank you all for listening. I'm going to go play some Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
See
And
y'all.
how?
See you all next week.
Laters.